Hi, Ala, how's it going today?
Hey Mustafa, it's a great day.
So I wanted to check in with you. We wanted to talk to our audience about the Home Support Worker Pilot Program. You know, what a lot of people don't know about Canadian immigration programs is while most of them require you to have a certain score to receive an invitation to apply for permanent residency, there's a lot of them that don't require any CRS score at all, right? Their eligibility criteria is based on other factors. One of those types of programs that we recently worked on was the Home Support Worker Pilot Program. And I wanted to, get you in here and talk about that today for our audience. Maybe there's somebody out there who can benefit from this. First thing to note is I'm going to share my screen so we can see directly from the Canadian website what it says, the Canadian government's website what it says. First thing to note is that this is a pilot program. It's a 5-year pilot and they have been renewing it every year. We can say that it's active, but we cannot say that it's a permanent program. So far, it's just a pilot program. The interesting thing about this program is really what gets you qualified to apply under this stream is qualifying work experience. Clients have to have either work experience in this NOC code, which is Home Child Care Provider, and then the other one is NOC 44101, which is a Home Support Worker. The difference between both of the programs is one is obviously focused on caring for children, and the other could be focused on adults. They might be, in very late stage. They might be in the late stages of their lives. They may be suffering from some disability. So that's two differences. One is the home child care provider, and the other is the home support worker. It just depends on what type of client you're working with, if is it as a child or an adult. The other thing that's important for these NOC codes is that the location can't be an institutional setting such as a daycare. And for here, the location cannot be an institutional setting such as a nursing home. In other words, this program is meant for people who are actually going to their clients' homes and providing services in home, not an institution. Individuals who may qualify for this program don't have to live with their employers, although they can, but they must work and provide their services to the client in the client's home. And this is a big way to determine and assess whether you fall into any of those NOC codes. Ala, would you like to add anything to what I've said so far?
Yes, so no, it was a complete explanation. So there is two NOC codes actually they can apply. And then we are going to give more information about who is qualified to apply. They can apply for direct permanent residency, or there is another way that they can apply for a work permit.
Yes, absolutely. So once you figured out what your NOC code is, either you're a home child care provider or a home support worker, next thing you need to know is that there's two categories under which you can apply. One category is less than 12 months and the other category is 12 months or more. If it's less than 12 months, then you can apply under the gaining experience category. If it's 12 months or more, in the last 36 months, you can apply direct to permanence category. So what do you get for this? Is that basically, you will submit a work permit application with your PR application, right? So you'll get a conditional approval for your PR. Initially, you'll get a work permit. Once you meet the work experience requirements of the program, which is 12 months of qualifying work experience, they will ask us to send them proof. And it's at that point that a final decision on your PR application can be made. So in other words, if you have, let's say, 2 months of work experience, in either of those NOC codes, you can still apply for this program. You will just get a work permit at first, and then you will be able to apply for your PR once you meet the 12-month work experience requirement. The other thing to note for this one, however, the 12 months or more, is that, once you can show that you have 12 months of qualifying work experience, then you can apply directly to the permanent residency category through either the home child care provider pilot or the home support worker pilot, depending on what your NOC code is. Ala, what have you noticed? What would you like to say about the difference between these two categories?
So this is a great opportunity for the foreign nationals who are working, as you mentioned, in the house of the employers for more than 1 year to apply for a direct permanent residency. The application is not a very challenging and difficult application, but it has lots of details. Everything is online, and then you will submit your application online. I think the best thing is that if you have a valid work permit and then you have more than a year, so let's wait until you complete the 12 months and then use this opportunity to apply. We have to say that there is a cap as well for that, Mustafa, right? So there is a limit for the people who are applying.
Yes, absolutely. So if you can see here, it shows the status. So every year the government opens up, certain slots. So for the home childcare provider pilot, the online application cap was 1,000 applications, and that cap has been reached. The home support worker pilot is still open. And alternate format applications are open for the home childcare provider pilot, but I don't believe there's a lot of slots left. So what they do is they either, if we go back here, you will see. Anyway, so they come and they give you, there's two things. So each summer, they'll open the program and they'll say the program will close either by a certain date or either when the cap is reached. So if anybody listening to this and who has a job offer in these fields or is already working in these fields or already has 12 months of experience in these fields, they can reach out to us and we can see whether there are slots available or if the deadline is still active, and we can make an assessment and figure out your eligibility for this program. It's not the end of the world. There will be a new cap next year, next summer, and the clients can at least start the process with Ala and figure out all the documents that they need to put together and be ready to submit as soon as the cap reopens for the next cycle.
Mustafa, can we check what is the processing time?
Yes, we certainly can. This is, by the way, a great way to check processing times. IRCC website does a good job here. So we can look at economic immigration. We look at the processing time will be 26 months, right? This is if you have applied on or after April 30, 2023.
But the good news here is, Mustafa, they can apply for a work permit. So once they submit the application for PR, they can apply for a work permit. The recent client we just had, there was an option that we could have applied for her work permit.
Yes, so they're also looking at processing time based on the past. The thing about processing time is that it's never really, an exact number, and processing times vary for people to people. It also depends on the quality of the application. If everything is completely submitted on time, then the processing time and there's no mistakes, the processing time can be reduced. But yes, this is it's a lengthy processing time. 33 months is a little bit over a year. But as you mentioned, I think the benefit here is that as people are waiting to have their PR application approved, they can apply for a work permit to continue to stay in Canada and continue to perform their duties on their jobs. The other thing I wanted to mention about this program, Ala, is that we recently worked with an individual that appeared to be qualified for this program. Could you describe what type of experience, what type of work was our client doing that made us very confident that they would be a good fit for this program?
The requirement in order to be qualified for this program, it's they have to have a proof of English. They have to work for 12 months with one employer or different employers. They have to have full time. And the description of the main duties should be as a personal support worker. So the individual that we helped, she was working for more than 12 months for a family taking care of their daughter. And then the description of the main duties matched the NOC what we are looking for, which was including assisting in regular exercising, walking, doing some responsibility for the household, including helping them to walk, bath, maintain the personal hygiene. And then we understand that she's qualified. We identified this pathway for her on our virtual consultation with her, and then we submit her application for a direct permanent residency.
And how much did she have? What was the processing fee for her application?
So the processing fee, because she had one independent child, and the dependent child didn't have the biometric. Total, she paid $470, but she paid for the processing fee, the right of permanent residency, and a dependent child.
I want to go through the eligibility criteria very quickly as well. The first eligibility criteria is that your qualifying work experience must be in either NOC 44100 or NOC 44101, right? They must be authorized to work in Canada full-time, so that can either be under a PGWP open work permit, or it could be under a closed LMIA-based work permit. Language level, they need to have at least a CLB 5 in English or an NLCL 5 in French. For all language skills, it means that none of the scores on these skills can be below a CLB 5. They must have at least, one post-secondary education credential that needs to be minimum of 1 year in Canada. If they don't have a Canadian degree, they need to show an ECA. So really, this is mostly what the requirement is. You can see here, you got to have enough work experience, you got to meet the language level, you meet the education requirement. Of course, you have to be admissible to Canada, and inadmissibility just means that you haven't committed any crimes or you haven't ran afoul of any IRCC rules, you don't have any communicable diseases, you're not a security threat to the country, that type of stuff.
One challenging thing that we had with our recent client is that usually people that working as a home support worker, maybe they don't have very high level of education. It's very important that you either have to have 1 year of post-secondary education in Canada, or the equal, it should be assessed by the World Education System, WES, that equal you for a 1 year post-secondary education, which is equal to the Canadian degree.
Yes, absolutely. And the other most really important thing is to provide adequate proof of work experience. What type of documents did you request your client to provide you to prove her work experience letter? And do you have any comments on that?
Yeah, so we asked the client to provide us the employment letter, which having the employment letter has some details that they have to have the positions. It should mention about the 30 hours working full time, the salary that she's receiving. But on top of that, we try to submit some more supporting documents, such as notice of the assessment, T4, proof of payments, the incomes that she's receiving, the pay stub she's receiving from the employer, and also we ask her to provide the medical insurance, which is covered by the employer. So we try to submit those documents to make the application more stronger.
Great. And what can people do to learn more about this program? Talk to you and the team about whether they qualify.
If you think that you want to go this pathway, because there are many people in Canada with an open work permit now, and then if you think that you have the employer, you meet the requirement, just contact us through the link below. And then we will get back to you very soon, and then we will have a free consultation with you, and then we will guide you through the whole process.
Fantastic. All right. So the links to our website and the consultation booking pages will be attached with this upload. And we look forward to talking to anybody who is working in someone's home, providing either adults or children support services. And if you have any educational background related to that job, your chances for a successful PR application is even higher. And the best thing about this program is that there is not a CRS score calculation that kind of makes you eligible for this program or not. It's really just these requirements. You got to have the right work experience. You got to have the right language level. You got to meet the education requirement, and you got to make sure you don't have any admissibility issues. and that's all it takes for them to assess your application, and they either give you a PR or they don't. So yeah, it's a very interesting no frills program, and we encourage everybody to talk to us if they feel that they qualify, and we can take it from there. Ala, do you have any messages?
Thank you so much for the time, Mustafa, and then we're looking forward for the people to contact us.
Okay, thank you.